Welcome back to another LFK Unscripted. I'm Ellie Mueller.
And I'm Carolyn Abel.
Can we just talk about this perfect fall weather today?
Oh, it's beautiful outside today.
It's the perfect start to my week. It's a Monday.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, it's 75. It's perfect walking weather. I walked from my sorority house to campus to Watson Library. It was like a 20-minute walk, but I did not mind it at all.
Same. I was walking from my sorority house this morning to campus. First time I have not sweat. So that was awesome.
Oh, it's amazing. And then especially it was so nice this weekend for the football game, now that we're 4-0, which is really huge.
So cool.
Yeah, it was so cool. I actually got to bring my family because it was family weekend for everyone.
I did too. Yes. I know you're also out of state, so
yes, it was so
it's
cool
such a great
to see
experience
them. Yeah,
to see
I'm
them.
from St. Louis, and it was also my parents' first real college football game, so they loved it. And my younger brother, I'm trying to convince him to go to KU, so he had forced him to go to the game. Oh yeah, it was really fun. But it is so nice that we can consider ourselves a football and basketball school.
I know.
Yeah.
Did you stay the whole game?
I did stay the whole game.
It was insanely hot.
Yes, it was so hot.
It was so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, on campus this week, we have a lot of crazy things going on.
Oh my goodness, we do. Well, first of all, Sister Cindy, who's I don't know how to explain her, but she's throwing up sorority letters and her famous anti-premarital sex slogans. So,
awesome.
Yeah, she got famous on TikTok for
she
going
used to be
campus.
All over my For You page.
Oh, yeah, and she has a lot of things to say. So definitely go check her out at Westco to have a good laugh. But that is all we have for this week. But Cammie and Cameron are back with another Boulevard Buzz. They ask KU students basic KU trivia. See you next week.
National champions deserve a clean campus. Don't wait for other Jayhawks to pick up your mess. Keep the University of Kansas clean.
Welcome back to another sports update. I'm Emily Baldwin.
And I'm Eric Richards. Kansas football had its fourth consecutive win on Saturday against Duke. Jayhawks won 35-27, keeping their title first in the Big 12. Kansas is now the only team in the Big 12 to be undefeated at this point in the season. Hawks will play Iowa State at home on Saturday at 2:30. Be sure to buy your tickets and pack the booth, KU.
And KU football is sitting just outside of the AP rankings this week as they received 125 votes thanks to their 35-27 win against Duke. This was up over 100 votes from last week's 23. Many expect that if KU can beat Iowa State this week, KU could break the top 25 for the first time since 2009.
St. Louis Cardinals' Albert Pujols hit his 700th home run on Friday. Pujols is the fourth player in Major League history and the first from the Dominican Republic to accomplish this feat. Other players to have done this include Barry Bonds, Henry Aaron, and the great Bambino, Babe Ruth. This is Poole's first season back with the St. Louis Cardinals after 10 seasons with the Los Angeles Dodgers. However, he has announced this will be his final season, totaling a 22-year-long career with a total so far of 3,072 games played.
And the Cowboys and Giants will play tonight for the Monday Night Football in an NFC East matchup. The Giants have won both of their games so far this season, while the Cowboys sit at 1-1. Kickoff is at 7:15.
37-year-old Kenyan runner Ilion Khachogi, News Marathon Time has marked him as the greatest men's marathoner of all time. In a recent race on Sunday in Berlin, Kipchoge sliced 30 seconds off of his own world record. By the 25-mile marker in a 26.2-mile race, his lead had stretched to over 4 minutes ahead of his competitors. Since 2014, Kipchoge has won 10 World Marathon Majors and has won the past 2 Olympic Marathon gold medals. Kipchoge won the race wearing the new Nike shoe model Air Zoom Alphafly Next 2%.
And finally, the Kansas City Chiefs lost 20-17 yesterday to the Indianapolis Colts. The game started out bad with Ricky Sky Moore dropping a punt and the Colts recovering it at the Chiefs' 4-yard line and scoring just a few plays later to make it 7-0 early on. Patrick Mahomes also threw his first interception of the season in a mistake-filled game. They'll be back in action against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday, October 7th.
That's all in sports. We have Cameron and Kenna here with the news.
Thanks, Lee and Eric. I'm Kenna Heimowitz.
And I'm Cameron McCrory. This is your weekly news update.
Canada is struggling to regain power after Tropical Storm Fiona hit Canada's eastern seaboard, causing major structural and safety issues. Hurricane Fiona transitioned into a powerful post-tropical cyclone on Friday as it slammed into the Canadian seas with hurricane-force winds and rain. The winds have flooded homes and damaged trees, power lines, and boats. Buildings are being dragged into the ocean, homes are collapsing, and trees are tipping over, causing power outages for thousands of people in Atlantic Canada. Miles of coastline from New Brunswick to Newfoundland were under tropical cyclone alerts as winds gusted to over 100 miles per hour. Officials are trying to assess the amount of devastation from the former Hurricane Fiona and are prioritizing restoring the power after the hurricane damaged communication systems and power lines across the province.
And the launch of NASA's Artemis 1 moon rocket has been postponed for the 3rd time due to complications from Tropical Storm Ian. BBC reports that the rocket was set to launch from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida on Tuesday. The first launch attempt took place in late August but was halted by technical issues. The second launch was attempted in early September but once again was stopped, this time by a fuel leak. The current window for launch will end on October 4th and the next will open up from October 17th to the 31st. Artemis 1 is intended to astronauts to moon after the 50 years. Forecasters say Tropical Storm Ian could develop into a hurricane shortly and is expected to reach Florida by early next week. NASA has hopes that to return astronauts to the moon for further research by 2025.
KU students came together Thursday afternoon at Westco Beach to stand with Iranian women against compulsory hijab rules. These acts of honor and protest follow the tragic death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini. Amini was a young woman who died in police custody on September 16th after being arrested in Tehran by Iran's morality police, who enforced the country's rules on hijabs and other conservative Islamic dress and behavior. Since then, Iranian women have been protesting in the streets by burning their hijabs and cutting their hair short. Amini's death has resulted in a nationwide flood of protests over human rights, security, and freedom. As protests continue to spread across Iran and the KU campus, Mahsa Amini's family demands an explanation and justice for her death.
KU administration has announced a policy change to tuition assistance for dependent faculty. The university made changes to the Employee-Dependent Tuition Assistance Scholarship, which exists to assist these dependents with tuition costs. It is granted to these individuals in the hope of supporting faculty financially. The University Daily Kansan reports that the scholarship has been altered to now cover the cost of 12 credit hours per year, equivalent to 2 classes per semester. Over the past 10 years, KU faculty has worked to acquire tuition assistance for their dependents and had now seen no success until now. University budget issues have prevented any policy changes so far. Officials fear a loss of money for KU. Scarce benefits have even resulted in faculty transferring to other institutions that offer greater resources. In July, the Kansan reported a 30% reduction in faculty numbers since 2009. They sent the proposal to the university about a year ago and are hopeful that the new assistance will reflect positively on the college. Specifically, they predict increased enrollment and higher faculty loyalty as a result. Faculty and staff have expressed a great appreciation to the university administration for their willingness to hear their voices. While budgetary concerns still exist, faculty members believe that the changes made to the Employee-Dependent Scholarship will not bring a large detriment to funds. Beginning January 2023, KU staff will have the opportunity to take up to 12 credit hours of classes per year free of charge.
Faculty and students gathered at the Asher Family Plaza outside of the Kansas Memorial Union on September 23rd at 1:30 p.m. to witness the unveiling of a brand new statue donated by the late James J. Asher. Asher was a long-standing supporter of the University of Kansas's union and will forever be memorialized on KU's campus. The plaza's newest statue is called the Jayhawk Nest and shows a large Jayhawk leaning over a nest of baby Jayhawks. It was created by Robert Richardson to represent building a home for the younger generation of Jayhawks. Jim Asher spoke at the unveiling of the Jayhawk Nest, as well as Tamara Durham, the Vice Provost of Student Affairs, to introduce and honor the new statue and its meaning. Perfectly said by Tamara Durham, it was inspired by us students and staff were excited and delighted to be in attendance for the reveal of the Jayhawk Nest dream and brought to reality by his generosity.
A new organization on campus called Ability KU is working to create a more accessible university experience for people with disabilities. The group was founded last May and already has over 40 members interested in helping bring inclusivity and comfort to the community. They want any student to feel comfortable expressing personal concerns or issues about the university's resources for those with disabilities. This includes physical improvements such as patching up sidewalks and ramp cracks, as well as educating faculty and staff on disabilities. The group's president founded the organization after she was hospitalized and refused the accommodation within her courses that would have allowed her to keep up with the coursework. She expressed to the Kansan that she feels a lack of proper training among professors on how to handle situations involving students with disabilities. With this organization now in place, she hopes to spread awareness and knowledge about how to maintain an inclusive classroom. The president, as well as other students, has expressed disappointment that KU maintenance has not stepped up to make the structural fixes throughout campus. Ability KU has spearheaded this effort, submitting many urgent service requests for locations throughout the campus, such as the ramp up to Snow Hall. They will continue to work to create a pleasant experience for every student traveling from class to class. The second Ability KU meeting of the fall semester is scheduled to take place online next Saturday.
That's all we have this week for LFK Unscripted. We will see you back here next Monday for more sports, news, and entertainment.